When you sign up for Runner, please put my code in and I'll make some money. And so will you. Enjoy the Please Subscribe show.
It should be ready at 12:15, so figure that out. Oh, they're still working on the washer and dryers. Oh, now we gotta dry our laundry after 3 weeks of freaking laundromat. A lot of fun. Oh no, we don't have connections. These apartments were built in 1960. So you figure they would have a
Talking to a teacher, a public school teacher. I don't know about private school, but according to the public school, you can get hired on an alternative certification, but you have to take what's called the PPG or PPE, and then they can hire you an alternative certification. So I'm wondering if anybody knows anything about that online, let me know, especially with the Fort Worth school districts. Because I have my bachelor's, so I'm just trying to figure it out. We found a hot spot and we're headed there now. Just a little shopping mall right here. This is all TCU student stuff and their parents kind of stuff. I mean, this is basically Macy's right here. I'm sorry, but most little parking lots right here that just have, little parking areas that just have restaurants don't have a Macy's. Mostly it's a bunch of I call this right here. It's an outdoor, it's called Mamaka. It's an outdoor juice bar. It's a little juice bar. This Blue Mercury is probably an upper end restaurant. I mean, it's just amazing. There's so many little stores right here. It's a little 10-minute parking for the bakery. I mean, it's just amazing. I'll kind of show you what it looks like. This is like the Blue Mercury So like makeup, spa, skincare. We got like Susie Cookies, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Van Lumen Ice Cream right here. Little ice cream shop right there. Shade Store, Carl's Frisky Outdoor, something like that. Oh, fishing. Carl's Fishing Outdoor. I don't know what that is right there. Tyler's, a van shop, a little place to pick up some van shoes. Another restaurant back there. Another restaurant over there. Like 3 more restaurants over that way. Big old parking garage. None of this was here back in the 90s. Like literally it was just like Old South and a couple of gas stations. You wouldn't even believe how this whole area has grown. I mean, it's completely amazing. Look at this right here. This is great. So freaky. These things before, like in malls. Detail-oriented thing right here. Pretty crazy. Pretty nuts. Eamon Carter Museum, American Art. Right here. You've got all this artwork right here and elevators going through here for the parking garage. Some kind of core power yoga store right here. That's HG Supply right now. It's right next to the river too. It's like a river walk that goes all the way through here called Waterside. Going to be a new global kitchen known as Quint's, and a bunch of information right here, and everything is protected with copyright. That's how much I hate the hippie generation, because they protect all good things with copyright. So this one will secretly be called copyright. That's what it's called, copyright. Like a copyright. Over and over and over and over and over again. So we have to deal with every day. These little stools, but you got copyright behind me. Going on. We got the copyright and we got this. Really nice center right here. It's a real nice setup. Really nice. Tyler's is here. We got Warby Parky, a little ice cream shop back there. HG supplies, everything. I mean, it's just great. Over on the other side, you got a Flower Child and a bunch of other just wonderful stuff. Starbucks is right there too. Really nice. This is all for the TCU crowd too. Well, let me tell you. Probably some Wesleyan too. Wesleyan can make it over here as well. Anyway, pretty nice. Pretty nice. So if you're in the area right here, Casa Manana is playing Beautiful. And Beautiful is a musical about Carole King. It's a Carole King musical. They're doing Charlotte's Web coming up here pretty soon. That one might be actually worth doing. They have like a little fair. There's a little fair going on right there. But the Charlotte's Web might be worth seeing. But the Carole King, that's probably a pretty good musical coming probably off of Broadway, maybe. I'd have to do the research on it. This is where I used to live. And then mid-90s, it was a apartment complex for World War II soldiers. When World War II was over with, they complexed a bunch of soldiers right here off of Darnell Street. This big old apartment complex, all wood. You had to hang dry your clothes. I lived about right over there, right in that area. And this Japanese architect came in. They tore it all down. We all had to leave and find another place. And they built the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth right here. And it's real nice. I thought about maybe reaching out, seeing if we can get David Lynch's work here. It'd be really cool to have a David Lynch, bring David Lynch's paintings through the modern masters. It'd be cool. It'd be a big show. I'd definitely vlog it. This is the Kimball. That was there. I used to jog by that every day when I lived in those apartments. And they tore that down in the mid-90s, and we all had to leave. I moved over by TCU. And we all had to leave, and that was before I ran off to Hollywood. There was a Japanese guy came in and redesigned the whole thing. Said, "Bye-bye, you got to go. Remember Nagasaki? Remember Nagasaki? Hiroshima? Remember? You got to go." I was like, whoa, okay. Well, we better leave. Here's your museum. Now, he was just the architect. He wasn't behind it. It was the city of Fort Worth. But they had, the Kimball's still there. Kimball was there the whole time. Now, later on, after the Modern Art Museum, the third one is the Piano Pavilion. That's real nice. That's Italian architect right there. And that was just a meadow right there in front of Kimball. Right there. And then right here is Amon Carter up this way. And that's where it all started. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, for me, right over this way, you can see it right here off of Gendy, the William Scott Theater. My mom enrolled me in Stage Combat Arts Fort Worth, is what they call it now. That's the proscenium. See the proscenium right there. That's where I got the old showbiz thing going on. The old bug, as they say. The lady, actress, she was in a Big Red commercial. And happened on it right there. She was in a Big Red commercial. She was teaching acting class. And she broke out the Neil Simon. And my first monologue was from Hello Dolly. And we had a video camera. And the video camera turned it on, and she videoed me doing Hello Dolly. And there was a small little class. And after, you know, we watched it, she said, "I like it. I think you did good." I said, you think that was good?" She goes, "Yeah, I like the Hello Dolly thing." And after that, I was hooked. Because she was pretty. I mean, she was on a Big Red commercial. It was like a national commercial. She was like a big deal. She's like a model. She was like, "Yeah, I liked it." You know, I just turned all red. And I realized, man, wait a minute. I said to myself, if this professional model that was on a Big Red commercial, she was probably in her 30s. I was probably pushing 17 years old. I was probably about 17. I was thinking to myself, if she likes it, boy, I'm in. If I can impress her with doing a Hello Dolly monologue, I am in. Ain't no way I'm turning back. she had a big smile on her face. She was like, oh, I loved how you did Hello, Dolly. I thought that was really good. Actually, to be honest, I think, to be honest, the teacher was actually an overweight Hispanic lady. But she knew the actress that was in the Big Red commercial. No, it wasn't the Big Red commercial lady. It was an overweight Hispanic chick that liked it. I was like, oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. She liked all the monologues. But still, I was impressed. I was still impressed about the whole thing. I still thought, if I could impress her, then I could probably do anything. Was an overset Hispanic lady that taught the theater class, and she did like my Hello Dolly monologue. That's when I pretty much probably decided to be an actor. But there was, yeah, the hot one, she oversaw the whole program. I forgot her name, but she was in a Big Red commercial. She had short, like, kind of auburn hair, real movie star looks, you know, probably had a rich husband, kind of bouncy, full of energy. She actually did see me in the hallway one time. I was running around. I don't remember what show they were doing or whatever, but she said, I really like your energy. But I'd go up there all the time and hang out, bring my headshot and resume and stuff, you know, just to kind of like, you know, it's like a dream just to do a show there, you know. Not, I mean, forget about Broadway, you know. I mean, Broadway was, you know, way down the line, which I only did off Broadway, or off Broadway, but just to do a show here, you know, at that theater, the W. Scott Theater, was a really big deal. And any actor that did a show at Casa was Broadway ready. They brought Broadway shows. This is Casa right here. The lead director of Hip Pocket tripped out on some acid there. But yeah, that's Casa Manana right there. That's a really big deal. I mean, you were like, that was Broadway. For this area, you couldn't get better unless you went to Dallas. Now they're doing Carole King. I think I remember my grandma driving around this area. Look at this right here. This little thing right here. You know, the lightscapes. Rodeo, some kind of rodeo ticket thing. That's W.E. Scott Theater. That's what they're calling it. Arts Fort Worth is what they call it. Kids Who Care has been there for a long time. There's a lot of stories. I saw Tuna Christmas there. Long time ago. A lunch came through for the Broadway. It was a lunch. It was back in the 90s. It came through there. That was a great musical. It's called Lunch. the thing that Robin Williams did with Nathan Lane, La Cage, La Fla, whatever. The Bird Cage is one of his nicknames. They did the whole show there. My drama teacher took me to it. It was crazy. Every single guy in this show was dressed up like a woman, running around, pulling their dresses up and stuff. I mean, I literally thought they had like real women in the show, but I don't know. I think it was all drag queens. They did that there. And they've done everything. They probably brought Les Mis through here back in the day. I'm sure they probably did. A friend of mine, I think, got his equity card, or at least his equity membership, doing shows like that when they brought it through. It's legendary. Tuna Christmas was like a really big deal because that was started at a mall. They brought Tuna Christmas in. I'm thinking this red light's probably one of the longest red lights around, really. Or it is at least right now. That one's got ticker going down on about 10 seconds. Van Zant College. Or Van Zant Cottage is what they call it. Van Zant Cottage. More lights and entertainment. There's a motorcycle right there. Yeah, that was it. You know, if you were an actor, you showed up there. Or at least W.E. Scott, one of the two. At least W.E. Scott, which is now Arts Fort Worth, I guess, is the name of it. Somewhere in there it's W.E. Scott, I can promise you. But yeah, that was the big theater area back there. It still is even today. Big time in the 90s. We saw a few shows there. We would go, and Broadway shows would come in. We'd want to figure it out. We auditioned too. I did a Les Mis audition piece there. I did like a little, at the end of the day, it's another day older. And that's what you get for the life of the poor. It's a struggle. It's a war. You know, that whole thing. They're like, next. My friend was kind of laughing. My friend Rob, who was a singer, he was a singer in a rock and roll band in high school. He's like, you know, you still have a powerful voice, you know. I was like, yeah. You know, I mean, you got to get confident with the opera if you're gonna, you know, if you do like Les Mis and all that kind of stuff. It's opera. It's basically like opera, you know. But you can fake it. I certainly tried. I'd do anything, you know. Heck, that was the equity membership card. That was a chance in. A lot of actors, man, a lot of them would take tons of voice work, lots of voice work, just to a small little role at Casa Manana. I mean, a small, tiny role. We're talking like one line, and, you know, they'd work 2 or 3 years on their voice. And a lot of them end up in New York. But that was a launching point, Casa Manana. It's still cool. I'd love to go in there and do a vlog. It'd be great. But you got to have a little bit of money to do that. But yeah, send some money over. PayPal me, paypal.me/Cole Spivey, and say here's some tickets, or here's some money for tickets. You know, it'd be like $70 or something. Go to Casa and do the vlog, and I'll seriously sit down with Linda and say, hey, look, they sent this money over so that we would do a vlog of Casa Manana. But, you know, that's the only way. I mean, if y'all want those really good vlogs, you know. I remember Channel 13. I mean, I used to watch Channel 13 all the time, and you'd hear this kind of stuff, support the arts and all this stuff. I love listening to that, you know. For hours, you'd watch those phones go off. This is a phone I'm holding, you know, and this was just for supporting arts, you know, arts and entertainment. PBS, Channel 13, all that stuff. Send the money, and we'll put on those good shows, you know. People do it. But yeah, you know, send $70 or something. We'll go to Casa Manana, see a show. We'll interview some of the actors, or we'll do whatever they allow us to do. You know, we'll try to get the lobby, at least film the lobby and what the set looks like before the show, and the inside of Casa, which is cool. We'll definitely do that. Or shoot, you know, $10. 7 people do $10. You know, Or do 5, you know, it'd be like 14 people do $5 or something. I don't know. I don't even know how much tickets are. I have no idea. I have no clue. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to look online. I'm assuming it's probably 70 or something. I'll look. You know what? I'll check it out. I'll look in just a second. Minimum cost manana is $59, up to $478. That's like Broadway. That's like Broadway. It can be as cheap as $60, and as expensive. It can be up to almost $500 for a ticket to Casa Manana nowadays. I just looked it up. I'm gonna look it up again. I cannot believe I'm actually reading it. So we're gonna go to the next delivery, which is Fort Liquors, and we'll be picking up some liquor and dropping it off at your doorstep with certain approval. Looks like the customer canceled. But anyway, this is where we were going, Fort Liquor. No, literally, right whenever I pressed the button, they just canceled. So maybe they had second thoughts. Could have been a recovering alcoholic going. Maybe not. And that's a classic building too, right there. That right there. And that's probably a skyrise apartment complexes, which was not around in the 90s. Those right there on the other side of Summit. I'm assuming those are skyrise.